So for this video, we are going to talk about intelligence. That's right. And especially how intelligence relates to friendships. Because I don't know if you ever asked the question of, do I really have to be super smart to be part of the friendship? Or what if I don't really know anything, I don't have anything to give? Can I still be friends with other people? That is what we're going to talk about today. So if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and of course the bell. So the three questions I'll be answering today are, what exactly is intelligence? 2. Intelligence and friendships. So this is where we're getting to how exactly does intelligence or what role intelligence play in friendships? And 3 is, can you be too intelligent? We always see things on TV or different shows where you have a super smart guy and not being able to fit in socially. That is what we're going to talk about. So first, let's define what exactly is intelligence. Here, this is just the definition I pulled off online. It says intelligence is the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. I know when we first think about intelligence, the first thing that we might think of is getting really good grades, or scoring super high, getting tons of medals, and having perfect test scores or something. That is intelligence. However, I want to help you expand that definition a bit more. As you can see, the intelligence that I have just mentioned, those things are mostly academic intelligence. These are things that you have schools that gave you medals and they kind of gave you different tests and evaluate on a particular kind of intelligence. And then that's what they think you are intelligent or not intelligent by that standard. But that is only one of the type of intelligence. Because let's say if a person has really good hand-eye coordination and a really fast reaction time, that to me is a type of intelligence, because that is your ability to react and control your physical body and have the intelligence to use it in a particular way. If someone can do an amazing painting and be able to capture all the small details using a paintbrush, that to me is a type of intelligence too, because your hand is able to create all the little small details. It's not so much of a mental intelligence, but sometimes it's also a tactical intelligence, where the person intuitively understands how to use the paintbrush better than other people. That's also intelligence. As you can see, going back a little bit about intelligence, the definition was an ability to apply knowledge and skills and acquire those things. These things, when we're talking about knowledge and skills, it doesn't necessarily pertain to just books. So it can literally be any form of instrument, because we learn things through all of our 5 senses. And to think that intelligence only comes in the form of learning, memorizing, reading books, that's just too restrictive. So I want you to really understand that intelligence comes in all forms. But of course, we're going to bring this back to the social setting of intelligence. Now let's get into how much does intelligence actually matter within friendships. Personally, I feel like intelligence works against you if you don't have at least some form of it. And sorry, before you turn this off and be like, oh shoot, wow, okay, friendships are just so shallow because I'm not smart. Let me get to the point here. All friendships require some form of basic intelligence, because if you are to carry a conversation with any of the person in the group, you have to be able to maintain a certain level of intelligence in order to communicate with them effectively. So let's take for instance, if I go to try to join a friend group where everyone there is is amazing expert on bikes. And for me, I don't even have the basic understanding of what a bike is. And I go in there and I try to join their discussion about bikes. And I just sound like a complete newbie. And the most I can do is listen. And if I don't try to learn or grow in my intelligence within bikes, then I would naturally be pushed out of that group. So within every group, there is some threshold of intelligence that you have to have in order to join that group. But the good thing here is anyone can grow in their intelligence. Because let's say take sports. If I go and shot basketball 100 shots every single day, I will improve in terms of my ability to shoot a basketball. Same thing, if I want to join that bike group, all I have to do is keep on being persistent in terms of learning things about the bike to grow my intelligence in it, and then hopefully I'll be able to carry a casual conversation with them. All intelligence can be learned and acquired. So it's not something that is restrictive or that you're born this way so that you can never change your level of intelligence. Intelligence comes in all forms, and learn what you're good at and push that intelligence so you can grow in more knowledge. And the more that you have, as far as I can see, it only benefits friendships because it gives you more things to talk about, and it shows you as someone that is very intelligent in some area, and that's a really attractive trait. Lastly, I want to talk about, can you actually be too intelligent? And in my opinion, I actually don't think so. I think the more intelligent you are, the better. However, there are things that we need to be aware of. One of the most common problems that I have seen is just in terms of like normal communication. Because the smarter you are in a particular area, that means there's more tendency for you to want to assume that the other person understands what you understand. So if you start to believe that everyone else will think like you, then you start to create this gap between you and the other person. And you become really frustrated when the other person doesn't see things the way that you see things. Or that if you don't say anything, you start assuming things about the other person. And that is a bad thing when we are trying to socialize. Like, I don't know if you had a moment where something felt incredibly obvious to you, but to the other person, you're like, why doesn't this person get it? Or like, why doesn't this person understand me? They should know better. That feeling is the feeling of disconnection. That is the feeling where you are more understanding of your world, and that separation, that distance, is the lack of knowledge. This distance doesn't necessarily mean that we are smarter than the other person, but it means that we are seeing things differently than the other person. And this creates a barrier when we are trying to talk with other people. To boil this down into something that's a more bite size, I'm basically saying, even if you have something good to say, if you don't know how to say it or express it in a way that the other person understands, then the other person will never understand what you say. And at that point, intelligence doesn't really matter because the other person can't understand you. And that is very frustrating. So you can see this is one of the reasons why I really want people to focus on basic social skills, because it's one of the things that really benefits you overall, because it allows you to express what you're thinking, especially in terms of intelligence, for other people to understand the thoughts that you have, because maybe there are good thoughts that you have and you just never shared them, and people never understood what those thoughts are, and we never get to hear what you have to say, and we will never know what kind of things that we could invent, or the world will be much better off. Yep, and that is it. That is all I have for you guys. If you like this video or find it helpful, you can like, subscribe, comment, share. Yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you guys next time.